I'm Molly and today we are talking farm work in Australia. You're right, I haven't done farm work myself, but it is the essential part of getting that golden second year working holiday visa in Australia. And I know so many of you are sat there like, how do I do this thing? So I reached out on my Global Travellers Facebook page and on my Instagram to get a little group of people together that had been there, got the t-shirt and were willing to share their story. In the first video, check it out here, the team shared what farm work they all did, how they found it and their best and worst bits. In this video, the team have got a load of tips to help you successfully execute and plan your farm work experience. Take it away, you lot.
Do not leave it last minute.
Don't leave it too late.
Do it early. That is 100% the best advice.
Because it's just so much extra stress. You cannot determine how quick your farm work will be.
I had one girl in my hostel that got fired because she has to go to the toilet. My boyfriend got fired on his first day of work, absolutely no reason given for it. That's how brutal it can be. He also was waiting weeks to work. So really giving yourself enough time that you can change the situation if you need to.
Initially just trying to find a farm is really, really difficult. I applied for over 80 farms and I had one reply to me.
The work can be unpredictable.
If, for example, certain fruits that you're working on, if it's been raining and the fruit is too soft, they won't let you work. So that could take an entire week of work away from you.
I was sent home for it being too rainy and wet. I was sent home for it being too hot and dry.
Fruit and veg is seasonal. Crop yields can vary, so there's no guarantee that you're going to get a job that is 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 3 months, done. But it's always safer to assume that it's going to take longer than that.
I worked with way too many people that had left it too late, and it was touch and go whether they were going to be able to complete it in time. Find your feet, get your farm work out of the way, and then you've got another 9 months to enjoy yourself.
Take recommendations from people who have done their farm work, from friends, from family.
Don't just go off one person's opinion. So if somebody might have said to you that they had an amazing experience at one farm, somebody else could say something completely different.
Have a look on some of the backpacker Facebook groups. There's so much information. If you were to ask a question and say, look, I've been offered a job by this particular farm, does anyone have any experience with that farm in particular, you're going to get so many responses.
Have a good vet, look at reviews, things like that.
You need to check that the postcode that is going to be on your pay slip has to be within one of the eligible postcodes that can all be found on the government website. If it isn't, then your farm work won't count.
So don't approach farm work until you're in Australia. Do not send emails to farmers. Farmers, the ones that I've come across, are particularly old school. They really appreciate knocking on the door or giving them a call and saying, hey, I'm available for farm work.
I'd probably go with someone.
Not only is it safer if you're going somewhere remote or that you don't really know, but also, especially at the beginning, it's nice to have someone to vent to.
But if you're travelling on your own, make sure that other people have recommended it. So I would go based on sort of word of mouth. So if other people have been and have had a good experience.
It's probably the best place for you to go to meet people that you're going to be living with for 3 months. You're going to experience the same things together. It's definitely going to help you build a bond with people.
I needed to make sure I had a good playlist because we were allowed to listen to music while we were picking. Had a few Beyonce in there and that made the day much enjoyable, and I danced for the other pickers.
And also another thing that I think you should definitely take is a hot water bottle. My back, after the first week of working on a farm, I was on a strawberry farm, so I was bending down a lot and pretty much crouching for hours a day.
Pick up that phone. Give as many hostels in rural locations a call and give as many farms in rural locations a call.
You have to be really careful with piece rate.
For example, piece rate, if you're working on strawberry farms, for an example, you're paid per tray. So you're paid $1 per tray.
They can take the mick because they know that you're here to work for them and you'll do anything, so they may try and be cheeky with you.
Despite what you've heard, piece rate isn't always bad. One of my favourite jobs was on piece rate. I earned more on that piece rate job than I would have if I was working a full-time minimum wage hourly job. So don't just automatically write all piece rate jobs off.
Take your own bed sheets. And it is life-changing for your comfort.
Make sure that you get the right attire for outdoor work.
Do not immediately rush to Kmart and splash your cash buying new boots, PPE, because it gets so expensive. You can get so much secondhand from like other people and like people leaving.
Don't put pressure on that you have to work on a fruit farm.
I think a lot of people think that's their only options farm work wise.
There's so many other options out there. You can go over to Western Australia and work in a country pub. You can go to tropical North Queensland and work in more hospitality roles. So think about the different options out there.
Be more vocal. I think my big issue was like when things were like going wrong, or like I didn't have work for like weeks. I just kind of kept quiet about it. Like didn't try and just chat to my contractor about it, which I think would have helped me in the long run.
Always have a plan B. So don't think that just because you found your farm work and you're going there that it's going to be the right place for you. Leave yourself enough time and enough money that if you're not in a good situation that you can get away from that. As girls travelling, you don't want to be in a situation which makes you uncomfortable.
If you're not happy, speak up, leave, like just don't be vulnerable.
Australia is an amazing place, but is it honestly worth staying in a horrible place where you're being treated so badly that you wouldn't stand for that at home? You'd never work for an employer that's treating you in a bad way.
Just make sure that you know your rights exactly. Check on the Australian government website and make sure you get yourself an ATO account set up. And also during that time is another thing, as a side note, is make sure that you've got your superannuation set up. This may come along with the farm. They might just, when you start earning, they'll set it up for you, but make sure you've got that all in place ready.
And they say yes to stuff that you wouldn't normally say yes to. You don't know who you're going to meet or what you're going to learn or what you're going to get up to or where it could take you.
Make your weekends fun. Like give yourself something to look forward to. Like Friday night film night, we'd go like to the park nearby and like play rounders in a group. We'd have like barbecues or drinks by the river.
You do like grow as a person.
I think just go for it. It will give you an entire year in the country to keep travelling.
It's going to be hard, but you keep reminding yourself why you're doing your farm work.
When you get that email saying your visa has been granted, you will be over the moon. Like there is no feeling like it.
The positives 100% weighed out the cons.
Now permanent resident of Australia, and that's all stemmed from farm work, you know? So don't let 3 months hard work put you off. It is a land of opportunity here. It's amazing.
I got my second year and I met some great people.
Big up farm work. Farm work.